How sweet it is, echo in my headphones, to be loved by you. What is up, nerds? It's me, your buddy pal. Wow, this is throwing me off so bad. It's me, your buddy pal, HeyArcher. Welcome back to the channel. It's, you know, we were so close. We were so close to being on time. My headphones were all jacked up. Right now, they're still jacked up. But you know what? It's Thursday night. It's time to nerd out. I didn't even turn the TV on. I'm all kinds of a mess. Hot Mess Express, as per usual. But you know what? I'm hoping tonight, at least, you can pour yourself, if anything, just a little bit of. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it is HeyArcher Live, your weekly nerdy show where we do that. We nerd out. We used to watch a lot of trailers. I've been trying to cut it down a little bit. No, Scooby, this is not H2 again, the echo, H2O. It is actually wine today, drinking out of a glass from a brewery that I like, Barrelhouse Z. I like mixing it up. Why not? Yeah, so we nerd out. We're gonna watch some trailers. We've not done that in a while. We're gonna play some either, of course, but I had to bring in some help today. So today we will have Lenny for those with good taste. Sorry, I'm noticing this thing on the bottom of the camera. There we go. Lenny for those with good taste will be here. It's gonna be a good time. So if you've not done so and you're new to HeyArcher Live, you definitely want to hit the like button down below, hit subscribe, and comment with each other. If you've got a YouTube, if you've got a podcast, you got a website, you got a blog, whatever it may be, comment down below, subscribe to one another, support one another, plug yo shit. And it is time. So from backstage, from all the latest WWE and AEW shows, he's playing both sides. I think he might be main eventing All Out this year, taking on CM Punk and the artist formerly known as Daniel Bryan at the same time, because he can do that. Senor Dance, Mr. Lenny in the house. Good to see you, brother. How you doing?
What is up, everybody? Hello. That was an awesome intro. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
I had so much to say, though, because I'm like, I might be playing both sides. I might be playing neither side at this point. I don't know what I'm doing. Daniel Bryan, a.k.a. Bryan Danielson, a.k.a. like a million different names. So,
exactly.
Yeah, crazy world of wrestling right now.
And that's something I always want to give you credit for. You were on that AEW train for the longest time. You told me about it for the longest time. You told me about the YouTube channel. I'm drawing a blank on the name. What's their YouTube channel? They do their show.
So I watch Post Wrestling is my big one, but they used to be like the Law Radio used to be what they go by. I don't know if that's who you're talking about, but
no, the one that AEW does. That it's like a behind the scenes.
Vlog. Okay. Oh my God! Now you're putting me on the spot too. Yeah, the Bullet Club does it. Being the elite. That's what it is.
Being the elite. There you go.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Like as far as scripted, stupid wrestling, I think if nobody does watch wrestling out there anymore, and you used to be kind of nostalgic, it's a good way to get back into it right now.
Definitely. And one of the things that I'm like getting into, and I guess we'll take moments to talk about wrestling here. One of the things I've enjoyed is that they're bringing back like old school stuff that I guess a mark like myself would enjoy, like Tony Schiavone being on the commentators table. I'm like, holy shit, that guy's still alive. What's he doing?
You know what it is it's Cody Rhodes being, Dusty Rhodes being his father, being so attached to the history of wrestling and to WCW, now being on that network. You're gonna bring all that stuff back. Sting,
Yeah. So are they on? Because they're on TNT now, and then I saw that there's a TBS title they have.
They're moving over there, so both of their shows right now are on TNT, but their Dynamite show on Wednesday is going to be moving over to TBS going forward because it's got more viewers, I believe. Which I think even, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I don't think I am, but like I think Nitro might have ended up on there at some point too, or maybe it was like Thunder back in the day.
Yeah, Thunder. And Saturday, there was a Saturday night was on TBS.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like back to the glory days a little bit. I think I've said it. I know I've said it on my show, but I might have said it to you when we last talked. Like, I'm actually a little down on it right now, and it's only because like I grew up a WWE fan my whole life, and I'm watching my love just die. So a slow, miserable death. It's kind of like watching Vince McMahon age, but his product's just aging with him. So,
and it's weird because you had told me about that, and we talked about that same topic when we first became friends, which is crazy to say, probably 6 years ago now, which is absolutely wild.
It's fucking nuts, right?
Yeah. So it's been an ongoing story this whole time, the longest running story in WWE history.
It dates all the way back to like CM Punk doing the pipe bomb, really. So like almost like 10 years ago, 11 years ago now. He talked about like this company is going to burn if it's not for Vince McMahon dying, but his stupid son-in-law, yada, 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 that whole speech. But he knew it back then, and we're just watching it come to fruition now, and it's appropriate that he's going to be one of the people to put the nail in the coffin.
Wild. Absolutely wild. But you just mentioned something, and that is, for anybody who may not know, you have a show. By this point, all of you know. But there's always new people that jump in. And as I will say, your number one fan.
You definitely are.
We have, For Those of Good Taste, on YouTube. Drop a subscribe if you've not done so already. Walk us through everything that is For Those of Good Taste.
Well, so currently it's basically a bromance going up in flames every other episode. As me and Matt just seem to be at each other's throats right now. But as you can see, this week we've come together. I surprised him like anybody would in a good relationship, and I watched some things secretly. And I guess in a nutshell, that's all it is. It's me and my friend, my bestie, watching TV every week, talking about what we like. Could be wrestling, could be mixed martial arts, boxing, yada yada yada. But just us bullshitting about, I think, is the right way to put it.
Yeah. So I want to touch on a couple of things, but I had to bring you on. And what's up, Know Your Craft? Good to see you. I had to bring you on, and I wanted Matt to be here, but he's currently on the road. New York Comic Con's happening. I'm going there tomorrow.
Yeah, that SOB, dude. Not telling you about that, huh?
This is like the second time he's done that, where I find out afterwards, or he'll text me at Comic Con like, "Hey, are you here?" And I'm still in Boston. I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Well, this is what I'm talking about, though, with this guy. So you can empathize with me on a weekly basis. This is what I go through, Steve.
That's true. I'm there. I'm watching it real time.
Yep.
So you watched something, and it's something I'm a big fan of as a franchise. The show came out. I've not done that review yet. I don't think. I keep forgetting what I've reviewed and not reviewed. Funny thing, you can probably relate to this now. It's at the point where so much content's made, you don't remember if you said it or not, if it was just an idea, like where it happened. And I always thought Joe Rogan was kind of like pulling an like when he'd be like,
Yes.
I can't remember who said that. I thought he would just say that. But now I can't remember. I can't remember anymore where things have been said or not said.
It's not even just that. It's like people give him shit about like every episode something about like DMT and like how jujitsu saves your life, and
Yeah.
he just kind of runs through the same things. But it's like, dude, I sit down once a week for a couple hours and I talk, and the next week I do it again. And me trying to rack my brain for what I said, and I know you know this from editing. I listen to my episode like 5 different times through while I'm editing things. So like I should know it word for word, but the week later I could not tell you what I said.
It's wild. Absolutely wild.
Yeah.
So you jumped on and started to watch Star Wars Visions.
I did.
But actually, before I even get to that part, before that, you mentioned this week, you finally watched Stranger Things season 3. Again, the echo throw me off. I did not watch that yet. I watched the first 2 seasons. I started 3. I watched like the first episode, maybe part of the second one, and I wasn't feeling it because I felt like I've seen this already. Because I feel like every season, only judging on the first 2, is the monsters are coming. Nobody believes the kids. The kids have to go find them. Is season 3, without spoiling, I guess, a 2-year-old or 3-year-old season, is it that different than the first 2, or is it the same, but because they're older, it's more entertaining?
So I think I went through the same exact thing that you went through, to be completely honest, and that's why it took me so long to get around to this. I had actually made it a couple episodes in, and I found myself just kind of dragging a little bit, and I guess I couldn't get into the same rhythm with it that I did before. But this time when I got into it, Steve, I started it from episode 1 again, and I have to say, like, it felt different. As far as one specific thing, like you said, the parents not believing it's going on. The parents are 100% aware at this point, and there's just like I said on this week's episode, it separates into 3 storylines, 3 different groups, kind of, and the parents are main focus of that. And honestly, I think it's a major bright spot. I can never remember his name. The guy from Black Widow. Plays the cop.
Yeah,
on here. So him, like I've grown to love that guy, and this season he's just awesome. So. Big selling point for me. Winona Ryder also awesome. So the science fiction side of it, I thought it won. David Harbour, yeah, perfect. Yeah, I thought it definitely impressed me. Favorite thing I've watched in the past week, I would say.
Nice. So Kenny, good to see you, by the way. And of course, Noe Craft. I think I said that already. Just in case. I will give it another watch. I'll give it another try. I may wait until after I'm done with Squid Games, which I'm only 1 episode in, and I'm just curious to see what happens. But somebody I was talking to today who knows a lot about movies, just like yourself, you guys see it from a different angle. I'm trying to get that way where like you're seeing it from like, is this a repeat plot? Is it easy to tell what's gonna happen? Like you guys like identify things like that. And as he has watched the Squid Games, he's like, I saw this already. In the first episode, I knew what it was, finished it, predicted it, and even though everybody loves it, he thought it was meh. I kind of want to see for myself. But have you seen Squid Games? Are you in on that boat?
I am a contrarian to the core, Steve. So when everybody goes one direction, I will go the other. So I'm not watching it. No, I don't know if I will get around to it on my own time. I kind of just have to get to it and like I ease myself in on stuff, you know. All indications, I feel like I do already know what it is, though, and I'm as you know, I'm not a big like dubbed. I'm not a big subbed. It's mostly English for this guy, so
yeah,
that's where my hesitation is. I still haven't watched the sequel to Train to Busan because I'm just lazy.
That came out? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Peninsula, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know the sequel. Okay.
That is a sequel, but it's weird. Like I said, I haven't watched it, but it's a sequel, but I think it's also different characters. It's just the same universe.
Got it. So. Well, I assume then, when you watched Star Wars Visions, you watched it English, not in Japanese, or did you not?
Thing? Dude, I didn't know that was a thing. So I definitely watched it in English.
Yeah. I
Holy
so I
shit.
watched it in English because I knew potentially I'd be doing other things. It would be playing in the background, and then I'd have to look up because I'm like, okay, now I'm interested. But little did I know, I'd be engulfed in what is Star Wars Visions, start to finish. So now I'm rewatching it in Japanese with subtitle. Some of the episodes, like the first one, I think much better in Japanese. I don't know. It just adds to the feel of it. But what did you think overall? I know the answer, but I need you to tell the people how you felt about a Star Wars franchised thing.
For me, if I was to continue watching Star Wars stuff, I think this is probably what it would be for me. I don't know. I assume everybody in the chat is probably a Star Wars fan. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
But as a person who never has been, it is a little daunting. And you can attest to this as a person who like has watched every channel on YouTube possible to get backstory on this, that, and the other. And I'm that way about a lot of things. So don't get me wrong, like about really, really dumb shit. So I have no problem with that. But it's very daunting to talk to you about the Clone Wars and like Rebels and be like, oh my God, there's 500 episodes that I have to watch here. So the real appeal in Visions for a person like myself is when first of all, I knew it was only 9 episodes. It's on Disney Plus. It's pretty attainable. Like you can just bang it out in a day if you want to. But then when I go and look and it's 15 minutes or less an episode, it's like, well, this is a breeze. And you don't need to have too much past knowledge to be able to hop in there. So I like I said, I definitely liked it. And the major drawing aspect for me was the artwork. So.
And that was the best part. The best part was you didn't have to know anything. Aside from just basics, there's something called the Force. There are Jedi. There are Sith. Good and bad. The show mixes that. But if you knew those general concepts, you could watch all of the episodes and be like, oh, okay, I grasp what's happening. So the fun question, and I think Matt asked it, but I had to stop listening because I got to work, was which episode was your favorite?
I think the one that like stays with me the best, that like I remember the most from, is definitely the first one.
Yeah.
The duel. And I definitely remember the next one with the rock band pretty well, but I didn't, I guess, like that one as much. It felt like one that I should. I knew as soon as I was done watching it, I was like, Matt probably is going to watch this one and be like, dude, this is the one that you love.
Yeah.
And I said it on the episode. I really did like that episode for the music choice, because I thought going with like that punk rock, like late 80s maybe like vibe, like was pretty cool. But the episode itself just didn't do it for me. For whatever reason, that I really liked the duel and the way it looked, and I liked how simple the artwork was, but it told like a good story, I thought. And as far as a person who doesn't know a ton about the lore of Star Wars, it was a lot of stuff that I was already familiar with, like R2D2, you know, Sith, not Sith, like all that stuff. I guess I didn't know is when he gives a little gem away at the end, does that really like wield the ability to keep everything away? Yeah,
So the show changed something which I liked. Actually, no, sorry. The show or the so when Disney bought it, they like erased everything. They made like canon and what's not canon. So they essentially changed something to be canon, have never really touched it again, but then the show brings that idea back. And that's the concept that the wielder of a lightsaber can change the color. So what happens is generally if you're Sith, you bleed the kyber crystals, and that's what turns them red. So him like giving the kid that crystal, the kyber crystal, it was kind of a big deal because especially somebody like him, he prides himself on killing Jedi, collecting the sabers, collecting their crystals to corrupt those crystals to be, evil.
It's like the Predator, how the Predator carries around all the
same concept.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so that even that first episode was different because it was like, okay, even she's like, oh, Jedi, you come to kill me, and then she's shocked, like, oh wow, wait, you're a Sith? So even this show blurred that line. Like you could be Sith without being a Darth Vader. you could just be against the Jedi Order. And that's something I really liked about the show.
A little bit more individualized, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. There's a.
Did you?
Oh, go ahead.
So I was gonna ask a completely separate question. So if you have something,
No.
Because I was just gonna ask if you. So two things. First of all, did you already know these stories, or are these originally written for the show?
Yeah,
they are.
Originally.
Okay, interesting. So I didn't know that. I thought they were probably stuff. Because obviously there's like a million books and this, that, and the other. I thought some of this stuff was just pulled from there. That's even more interesting to me that it's new. But did you also look in like every episode where like, what is this artwork? Like, what is this theme or the way it's drawn like relate to like where it was drawn from, stuff like that?
I did not, but maybe I'll do that before my review. I mean, my review at this point is probably outdated, I guess, because things move so fast.
Dude, Star Wars is always going to have somebody who's interested in it. There's no time on Star Wars,
That's a fact. But maybe I will do that. Maybe in the review, I'll try to be like, oh, this is inspired by that. Whatever.
That's because I said it on there. I felt like, I know Matt had mentioned the Boondocks, people being involved in it at some point. I saw some it was kind of like a Yu-Gi-Oh, like that type of Sunday morning cartoon look on one of the episodes. I feel like it was the twins, maybe that episode might have the one that kind of looked like that to me. Even the Rock Band episode, it like reminded me of something too. So,
well, he called out the gorillas, I think, and I was like, oh
yeah, that was what it was for me.
Yeah.
Some of the characters in the Rock Band definitely reminded me of like the gorillas characters.
Yeah. No, it was. I love. Immediately when watching the trailer, I thought of the Animatrix. I was like, great, different studios. There was the Batman one too. I think Gotham Knights, it was called or something like that. And the one in Japan,
or whatever, that one.
No.
Okay.
Well, it was anime style, so maybe not Batman Ninja, if that's what you're thinking of.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
This one is let me just make sure. I'm pretty sure it's Batman Knights. No, Gotham Knights is the game.
Is the game, yeah. Yeah.
Oof, it's gonna kill me. Arkham Knights game. Let's see, Batman anime movie. I'll have to find it. Yeah, because it keeps coming. Oh, Gotham Knight. That's what it was called.
Why do I know? Okay, I gotta look that picture up.
Let's see. I'll pull it up now on the screen share for everybody. Yeah, so it's the one that has.
Oh, okay. So I definitely remember the front of that.
Yeah. So like I think it's 3 different cartoons, and they're all different animation. So I thought about that when I saw the visions. And I was like already like on board with that concept, if everything is different, not the same story, random stuff, I was already all on board. And to see them actually do it, I was grateful for it, because What If did not go that route, and I kind of thought they were going to.
So I haven't watched What If yet. We've been waiting on it. What did you think of that? Were you disappointed, happy?
Disappointed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it something though? Is it something that you can go like episode by episode though, and kind of like some stuff you're gonna be like, hey, I really did like that, or is it you have to kind of judge it as an entirety? Because I think that's why we wanted to wait until it was done to really do that, because it's so hard watching this stuff like week by week. I know you and Matt talked about that with whatever the Star Wars show. Yeah, the Bad Batch was like.
Mm-hmm.
Every other episode, you're either happy or mad, and it's like impossible. So I kind of wanted to see this one in its entirety.
Yeah. You know what it is? Marvel, what they've prided themselves on is that bigger cinematic universe. Like, they've done that better than anybody else so far. And what's weird about it is the same friend today was saying, oh, Marvel movies are like disposable cameras. Use them once, throw them out, you're good. And I feel like most of the movies are. But as you go movie to movie, even if you don't rewatch it, there's still parts of it, parts of the lore that kind of go with it or go with the story. And what if, in concept, is supposed to be what if? And, you know, if it was a world with zombies, if it was a world where Cap didn't exist.
Yeah.
And as standalone episodes, it should be good. But what happens is, as the show goes on, you're like, all right, it's still like the same. I'm trying to say stuff without spoiling anything. It'd be like, you know, if Lenny lived in the world with zombies, like it's still you, Lenny. You're just in the world with zombies. And then eventually they try to tie it all together out of nowhere. And they even say that everything you've seen in every episode is canon, but they keep breaking rules and things that they've made throughout. So it was almost like at the end of it, I was like, did you guys not even talk to each other to say there's going to be a bigger story? Did you guys not talk to the movie department, be like, hey, we made this decision, you know, does that make sense to you? Like, things just kept happening. And then if it wasn't canon, it'd be whatever. But the fact that it is canon is what throws it off for me.
I think part of the initial appeal was, at least for me, was the fact that it was supposed to be kind of their own standalone stories.
Right.
And that is, I can see that being pretty disappointing, that you don't need to take every opportunity to tell some like bigger picture things.
No.
There's so much that already is. And you know, I don't know if you saw this today. I saw that they're talking about the chick who played like the bad guy in Wanda, Catherine.
Yes.
Yeah. Getting like a spin-off.
Yeah. Why?
I don't get that. Like, what exactly? Who asked for that? It's diminishing returns is always gonna
that was
be
a meme,
problem,
actually.
right?
It was just who asked for that.
Yeah, and she's great. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's like nobody was like, "Hey, I need to see more of this character," who pretty much had an appropriate finish in the show. But when they get it right, they do get it right, you know. So that's where it's tough. Like I thought Loki did a good job of handing off to the greater like saga going on here while being pretty good in its own right. So
it's and what I liked about Loki was it did try to take the ball and run with it. Like, all right, even I forget what channel I was watching. I was trying not to watch any reviews of What If until I released mine, and I saw like some audio bite where they were like, the part of in Loki where he opens the drawer and you see all the Infinity Stones, and they're like, oh yeah, they're just paperweights. That was like Marvel's way of saying that saga's done. The Infinity Saga's done. And then What If opens back up the Infinity Saga. Like the Infinity Stones are in play again. And it just ruined it for me.
And so diminishing returns, it's like, hey, everybody applauded you for 10 years of developing this great story, and here we are. We're going to keep, and nobody wants to retread old news either, like old hat at this point. I think the biggest question in the anticipation is going to keep building as you watch more of these movies that are in this next phase here, like coming off of Black Widow, Shang-Chi, into Spider-Man, right? Like, when are we going to really get the ball rolling? And I guess Spider-Man's supposed to be the time where we get this next little phase rolling, but
yeah,
it's been a long wait.
But it's even weird because it's, you know, Spider-Man into the multiverse or whatever. We've already been doing the multiverse stuff. And it's like, oh no, wait, sorry. No, that's Far From Home, right? Or No Way Home. And it's Doctor Strange.
I never get the names right.
Yeah, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So already all the What If universes, the Spider-Man one, you know, bringing in different characters from different universes. Now I'm like, okay, we're doing the multiverse story. I have no faith in this, but we're doing it. But now you want to reactivate Infinity Saga stuff into this multiverse thing. It made no sense to me.
I hope they don't take this as an opportunity to like rewrite a bunch of shit, because it really turns into DC at that point, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, right now, surprisingly enough, I am way more intrigued into what Star Wars is doing than what Marvel's doing.
Well, what else is up their sleeves though at this point? Like what do we have for Star Wars coming up?
So we have Book of Boba. We have the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and then Mandalorian.
How many of these are going to be live action versus animation? All of them are live action. I want to say that I'm going to watch them, and I think the Obi-Wan one would be the show that got me back. I'd be hard pressed to say I haven't watched the Mandalorian yet, so you know. My bad, man. My bad, bro.
It's fine. Honestly, a lot of Mandalorian, it's a lot of fan service. Like, oh, that person. Oh, that person. Season 1 and 2, as far as plot goes, kind of the same thing. But it's done in a good way. Like, it's a true fan writing this versus J.J. Abrams just straight up like plagiarizing. This one's different.
I never took you to be such a Gina Carano supporter.
There we go.
I mean, I know why I'm not watching it, so.
I did find on the last episode of Nerd Affiliated on my toy hunting series, which everybody should subscribe to, I found a Gina Carano Funko Pop of Cara Dune in Hobby Lobby of all places.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's like worth $60. Saving that.
They aren't open on Sundays, so.
That's true. Well, I was gonna say let's roll into a round of either, unless you had something else real quick you wanted to hit on based on that stuff.
No, nothing based on that. No. I mean, we'll start again. Like for you, Steve, and for Matt, I'll try to get some Star Wars in there. They haven't done me wrong in the past week. Just saying. I think you might like Mandalorian. I think you would enjoy it. Steve, it's not. I know I'd like it. I 100% know I like it. It has nothing to do with that. It's just, when you stare at your TV screen and you're like scrolling through the endless amounts of streaming options on Hulu and like Netflix and everything, and just nothing catches your eye. I've gone by Mandalorian 100 times and been like, that's great. I'll get around to it. Yeah. Stranger Things season 3.
I gotta do it. I just gotta do it.
The world doesn't stop turning. That's the problem, man. Every week is a new movie, so.
It does seem that way these days. It does seem.
Oh no, Steve, I'm back to the movies every single Thursday.
We gotta talk about that. Yeah.
I'm back in there, full swing.
Well, if we could turn back time and play this wonderful game of either, where you choose.
I thought you were gonna go a couple more lines, man. If I
we could find a way.
Turn back time.
Oh yeah, we'll find a way.
Perfect.
Yeah. In the game of either, you choose red or you choose blue, whichever one suits you. And in the comments, of course, you want to put down why you chose the answer you chose. But if we could turn back time and if we could find the way back to you, would you do it via a DeLorean or do it via a telephone booth? And did you even see that coming?
No, I had no idea. I had no clue. Do I have the opportunity to like do that, like out myself really quickly here?
Go for it.
So you know me as quite the movie buff. I like to consider me a person who's watched a lot over the past 30 years of my life. I until recently did not see any of Back to the Future ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Granted, me not watching Harry Potter, I'm only one movie in. I take flack for that. And I accept that flack. But never have watched Back to the Future until recently. That, sir, you may lose your movie fan card. Is potential on that.
And funny enough, I say I watched it recently. My recent watch has been every other day in the break room at work because our satellite went down, and we had 5 movies on DVR that we could consistently cycle through. So I've seen like Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, Back to the Future, and like an episode of some local food show 100 times.
Yeah.
But never in one sitting. So I still have yet to see any Back to the Future movie in one complete sitting.
I might have to kick you off the show.
Oh man, please forgive me. The tough part with it is like I grew up on 90s action movies, and like I think that just kind of missed me a little bit for what I would have been interested in, and there's not a lot of like I don't go back and watch a lot of old comedies. I don't think like there's a lot of classic comedies that I don't go back and check out. So
the reason I like Steve's answer here, it's all about showing up in style. And you know, it's funny, the car would probably fit in, but the telephone booth, like nobody would even know what that was at this point.
It's definitely hard to look cool walking out of a telephone booth in like 2021. So that's a fair point.
The biggest issue I have with, oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go.
Well, I was gonna say the biggest issue I have with you not watching Back to the Future is it's unanimous that it's the greatest time travel movie as far as not breaking continuity, like following its own rules, it making sense, and all three movies actually being good.
I'll reserve my judgment on the best time travel movie until after Fast and the Furious has done it. So, I do appreciate them having their own rules. Obviously, like that's near impossible to do, and I do another movie where I'm sure it's good, but I'll get around to it. That's what I'm gonna stick with on this one. It's on I have a long list of shit I need to get around to.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I am going to go with the telephone booth because that's what Colin Farrell would have done.
I saw that in theaters. I don't know why. No idea why.
You and me both, dude. Kiefer Sutherland. What a songerous voice.
Yes. I'm going to go Steve on this one. DeLorean all the way. What I do like about the telephone booth, and actually we've asked this one before, because I was thinking Doctor Who, or maybe I was thinking back Bill and Ted, and then somebody brought up the other one. So what I like about telephone booth, if it's Doctor Who, is there's a whole spaceship in there. Like you can walk around and stuff.
Yeah, so I've never seen that either. If we're just going to keep going down the list, but it sounds pretty... That sounds way cooler. Is there like a floor that opens up under the telephone booth that I drop down into?
No, it's a portal.
Or is it sick?
You legit open the door and you walk in and it's spaceship.
See, in my mind, my telephone booth had like a, when the Tasmanian devil spins around really, really quick?
Yeah.
That's what my telephone booth looked like, and then I just dropped somewhere else.
I'll accept that.
Okay. Thank you.
K-Walk comedy, time travel favorites, 12 Monkeys, Back to the Future, and About Time.
I can't do About Time. I apologize. I've tried. I'm a chick flick connoisseur. Can't do it.
You are.
Yep.
Can't do it. What about 12 Monkeys?
Don't remember it as well. I know. I should remember it better, but they recently did a TV show too, right? Or
They did. They did do a TV show.
Yeah, I don't know. Was it on like an HBO or a Showtime, something like that?
I think it was actually Sci-Fi Channel. Like it was definitely passable.
It's passable, dude. What
passable
good shows has Sci-Fi Channel done?
I'm sorry, I used passable the wrong context there. Like you skip it. Like it's Sci-Fi. Right. If it's Sci-Fi Channel, you're not even attempting to look.
Do not stop it. Go. You will not collect $200. The whole nine.
Yeah, not gonna happen. And K-Walk's talking about Sliders, which the lady
that also
got
a remake recently, right?
Really?
Didn't 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
I don't
or maybe
remember.
I'm thinking of a different one. Fuck. About Time is time travel wrapped in it. So I do know that it's like a time travel chick flick thing. Who's the main actor in that? I'm a big you gotta get me off the seat with the actor, and Rachel McAdams is the girl, which is awesome, but the guy just doesn't do it for me. Look at that guy. He's a redhead. No offense if anybody out there is, but
I feel like, was he in Lord of the Rings?
don't they look a little like brother and sister in the top
They actually
left
do.
one there? That's weird. Although on some websites that would really, really play, so I get it.
That's accurate. Oh wait, wrong one.
Well, both are appropriate.
Both of them are. Is that Harry Potter? Is that what he's in?
No, that's not Ron Weasley, dude. Or is it one of the brothers? Are you right?
I was thinking about the brothers.
Like Fred or
Oh
I'm gonna say
wait,
Gary for lack of knowing their names.
no, this is yeah, this is from Star Wars. That's General Hux.
Yeah.
That's
Give
who
me
that
that one.
is.
So you're right, Harry Potter.
Oh, he wasn't Harry Potter season. Oh wow.
He's a Weasley.
Yeah. And
I
Dredd.
should have known. There's only like 5 redheads in all of Hollywood, and they probably would have been a Weasley brother at some point.
Yeah, and like 2 of them are guys. So you're going, as a reminder here, you're going
Red,
red. I'll go red with you on this.
knowing it's in the minority, but dude,
I'll go
thanks.
red because of the spaceship part. I thought about it some more. Being cramped in the car doesn't interest me. Wow. I actually did not see that coming.
We've talked about Double Dragons before, right? Me
Oh,
and you?
yeah. The movie with
movie?
the dude from Party of Five?
Yeah, so one of my favorite movies growing up, but is the DeLorean, do you remember the car in that movie? They had to like feed it trash to keep it going.
That's the DeLorean.
But it's also in that movie.
Really?
Yeah. If you go back and watch Double Dragons, that movie, they drive a car in it that has like flames coming out when they're stuck after dark,
Oh, yeah.
and
You're
they
right.
feed it trash. And I was trying to ask, is it like directly ripped off from that? I didn't know if you knew.
Yeah, here it is. Let me switch screens here.
Yep. Look how badass that thing was.
Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano.
Shit.
Yeah. She was great in that too, in many ways.
Such a terrible fucking movie.
Hey, dude, Boa Boba, dude, take it easy.
But you see, that's why we're friends. You can call back these movies, and unfortunately, I've also watched these fucking movies.
You've seen, this is honestly, people don't know, but this is how our friendship started, man. Was
It's
just
true.
me pulling out like weird movies like this, and you've been like, oh, dude, I unfortunately saw that.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's correct.
Nothing made 8-year-old Lenny Dance more happy. I just outed myself. Fuck. On the as a little child, like watching them put the things together and wink
Yeah.
at Robert Patrick and turning their costumes over. My favorite thing in the world. Doxed myself. Fuck.
God damn. So we came here to talk a lot of things, but there's a DC Fandome trailer that came out, and I think there's just one trailer 11 hours ago, 3 days ago. I think there's only one trailer, but you said you saw one.
I saw
Like,
a
is
trailer
there-
that came out today, but it might not have been from DC's Fandome. I don't think it was at all, but it was a trailer that came out today. Resident Evil.
Oh, we'll watch that.
Yeah.
Is it the animated or the live action?
No, it's the new live action.
We'll watch that too. Remind me if I forget, because you are the Resident Evil expert here. You watched the TV show. I didn't even know it existed until your podcast told me it existed. So we'll
The
touch on
movies.
that.
Best animated franchise.
You did say that. You did say that. All right. DC Fandome. Let's see if we get pulled for the first time in a very, very long time.
The bad boys of weekly YouTube lives and Twitch lives.
There you go. Here we go. I feel like there was no song coming out. Hang on.
I feel like you are indeed correct.
All right, here we go.
Are you ready?
The DC universe is about to change.
DC Fandome is coming.
One day where everything DC comes alive.
The epic global event.
That will take you on a journey.
Beyond your wildest expectations. Nothing compares to this.
Featuring the biggest stars, the biggest titles, the biggest reveals.
What the?
Join me.
Join me.
Join me
at DC Fandome 2021.
It's gonna blow people's heads off.
One day.
One show.
For you.
The fans. Save the date.
You won't want to miss it.
DC Fandome. Join us live October 16th, streaming free on DCFandome.com. And be the first to see the new trailer.
All right. What were your thoughts?
Ezra Miller was like, "It's gonna knock your head off," and I immediately was like, "No, that's you at a nightclub."
Yes.
They need to.
Yes.
I was very surprised to see him in there. I'm happy to see that somebody escaped cancel culture, and if it had to be anybody, it'd be the fastest man alive.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw that too. In general, that somehow, even with video evidence, people like skipped it.
Are you into the Rock on? I mean, I know in general you're into the Rock, but like with the Black Adam stuff, are you into him? Because like,
No.
It feels like he's playing a caricature of himself. I struggle with that word.
I'm not gonna
And I
lie.
guess that's his whole life. Like the Rock isn't a real person. Like
Correct.
That's not. You know. So I guess he always is. But
I'm kind of over The Rock. I feel like John
Everything's the
Cena is on
same.
the fast track to that.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely. But John Cena is a little different in that like. I guess neither one of them could do a serious acting role, but John Cena's definitely, I think, a different type of humor that The Rock won't do.
The Rock won't make
The
fun
Rock
of
won't-
himself.
No, and he also won't he'll make like Kevin Hart dick jokes, but like John Cena is like butt chugging in movies. So
Yeah.
there's a bit of a difference there. I think I'm with you though. I haven't seen The Rock do anything. I like Jumanji a lot too. Don't get me wrong, but like I haven't seen him really do anything that's super impressed me in a long time.
Yeah. I always go back to The Rundown or Walking Tall, and it
Well,
kind of
that's
ends.
literally what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That popped into my head, and I'm like, wow, that was 20 years ago now. Like I think The Rundown had to be 2004.
Yeah. Sounds right.
Sound about right? Maybe like a year later, 2 years later, but not that far off. That's just crazy. But yeah, and look what John Cena's doing on this still that you've left on the screen.
Exactly.
Just yeah. Did you?
He's
I
awesome,
didn't
though.
like the 1 minute that they gave him, like the little teaser trailer they gave him. I didn't like it too much.
I didn't want his show. Like, I feel like I didn't need a Peacemaker show, or I guess it's going to be their equivalent to a Marvel, right? It's just going to be full of humor, trying to mix it in. But I'm over the humor and everything. I really, maybe it's Black Adam, ironically, but I really want a serious movie, a serious superhero movie. Maybe there's a joke here and there, but I'm over the Marvel thing.
Would you consider the Joker as like the serious type of superhero?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like comic book movie, that type of movie.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll take the
I-
Joker movie.
I think a median, like a happy medium somewhere in there for me. I agree, but I think the main issue for me is that DC at this point hasn't earned the clout, I guess, to be able to just continually go to the well with like a TV show that we're not necessarily asking for and stuff, because you haven't put out enough quality to like just get people to trust that it's going to be good, the same way that Marvel can do something with Catherine Hahn. And whether we criticize it or not, we're probably going to get on a show every week and talk about it in some facet or another, whereas I just don't know that DC is going to get everybody to do that with Peacemaker,
Yeah.
Do you think that, like, I don't know if John Cena's really broken through at that level either.
Especially because his target audience is sub 12 years old. Like, that's where I don't know many adults who are like, oh, I love John Cena. like in anything.
It's well, anybody who I do talk to about it always has that like look or like that preface, like it's John Cena, haha, you know, like
Yeah.
and that's where I think he has to go kind of the different route. And I think I'm being unbiased when I say I actually do like him a lot of the time, you know, but there is, I think, no matter what, probably a bit of built-in bias, but he's just feels a lot like everything else they're doing. Like I know the Black Adam stuff's going to be a joke and everything. Like he's going to be kind of a joke. The Flash is going to be a joke. Like you're right. It's a lot of funny stuff. I think the Batman's got to be what we're hinging everything on at this point.
Yeah, that's
be
the one
make
that
or break
everything.
it. Yeah, that can make or break. Like I don't think Robert Pattinson's a funny guy, so
he wouldn't do that role.
Yeah.
Noe Craft says, if Black Adam came out 4 years ago, it would have been a must-see. But we waited so long that I'm not sure it fits anymore. Yeah.
I would agree. I mean, but you're still going to watch it, exactly, because The Rock's in it. So the issue with all of us is, like, if we didn't want things to be bad, yes, it is Paxmas. Thank you. My favorite purchase I've ever made. I'll move my head really quickly. Yeah. But if we didn't want shit to be bad anymore, like we would stop watching it, but we can't do that. Like we're obsessed. We need it. And if it's there, we're going to watch it. So it's going to keep being whatever they want it to be. That's the cynic in me, I guess.
It's funny in the toy world that happens. Like, so NECA makes gargoyles, review coming soon, I swear. And NECA continues to screw all of us collectors. They release things like Walmart only. Walmart will get 2 and only one Walmart in like a 20-mile radius. But yet we still keep grabbing this stuff. Like we just can't. And it's like, if you just simply boycott it a couple of rounds, maybe they'll change their ways. But we just get suckered in.
Do you think at any point you're going to have like a Jingle All the Way moment? Where like you and somebody else are going to be going for a toy and it's just going to get real messy for a second.
That is possible. That is very possible.
What do you think the toy that's out there that
I don't have it there anymore. I used to have him back there. Turbo Man.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I love that. I should have known that you would actually.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
dude,
awesome.
I was
That's so awesome.
I saw it and I was like, yes, I'll get you one if you want.
Gotta have
It's
it.
easy to find now.
I can't believe it's easy to. Well, you would know where to find it, I guess. So that's a little different. But
yeah,
is that like you just go to a Target and get it? Where are you finding those?
No, Walmart actually. He's a Walmart exclusive, and those of us like hardcore about Jingle All the Way, like hunted him down when he first came out, and now that like supplies catching up, like supply chain stuff, he's a shelf warmer now, we call him, or a peg warmer. There's like 3 of them. It's the same 3 I've seen for like the last month.
How big of a part of business is it to Walmart now? Because like I mean, obviously I've started. I'm impressed because like I obviously know from watching the videos and stuff that like you obviously know what the hell's going on with the toy world. But listening to you talk about it right now, I'm like, dude, you're in there. Like you're very in there.
I'm all in.
So is it like? Have they shifted a portion of their business? Because to just have that stuff on the shelf, like I was in a Target recently trying to find like poker chips, and I was in the toy section walking through there, and there was nothing like that was catching my eye. But I guess I only really look at the wrestling toys. So
yeah. So for example, right? Hang on, let me just grab this.
Hello to everybody else who's arrived while Steve's doing that. Nice to see you all.
So the hardest figures to get are twofold actually, but the number one is anything Ninja Turtles 1990. This is, and for anybody who thinks they recognize it but can't place it, Oroku Saki Amata Yoshi from the flashback scene when Splinter's telling everybody about how he came to America. There's even little Splinter in there, so you can put him on Oroku's face to like get the scratches and stuff. This right here, New was $52, I think, for the 2-pack. Just for shits and giggles, let's go to eBay real quick, because this stuff, again, going back to that supply and demand. Let's see, TMNT 2-pack. Screen share. 105, 85, 75, 130.
If you have the whole set, I see like 250 there,
250.
right? Yeah, damn.
90. So what they'll do is they'll release a couple to like different Walmarts, Walmart exclusive, and they won't allow you to see online if it's in stock. It doesn't pull up on the website. You can't type in UPC. They're just like, hey, you just got to go and see if you find it. So Walmart every day, because that's the only way you'll get it, or you got to buy it third party.
It's like a crazy form of the stock market, because you're just needing to predict which one of these toys is going to be worth something on the other end, and like if you hold on to it long enough, how long to hold on to it. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I got stuff here like oh, actually, you would know this. I'll grab that real quick. Hang on.
I remember it was like that with like Nintendo Amiibos. I don't know if it's still like that with those, but like people would go store to store hunting those things down.
That's true. I remember that. The best so far when it comes to appeasing their fans, AEW. Like AEW, despite all the craziness that's been happening, has been killing the game. Every week there's things. They just they keep it up. But what they do is they'll be the, exclusive, the chase. Just like Funko's used to do.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? It makes perfect sense with a company like that, because those dudes all are basically just like nerds, honestly. Like, that's the crazy thing about any sport now. Not even just wrestling, for that matter. It's MMA, it's regular sports like NFL, NBA, everything. It's just a bunch of dudes who grew up on Xboxes playing like Call of Duty and shit, and now they're just doing the same, or watching anime or whatever it is now. So I feel like the wrestling crew there, like they're all super into gaming, they're all super into collectibles. I'm not shocked that they're really investing into that portion of the business,
Yeah,
because they probably think it's cool themselves.
I was gonna say this one. Here it is. I think I just screen share, and then we'll watch Resident Evil. I didn't realize we were over 9 o'clock already.
Time flies.
So this was like about a month ago. And even that's a good throwback. Like when I was like 5, I had my wrestling figures were like this Cody. They didn't move, just big chunks of plastic.
Well, it's even the colors on the box are like very, like that was very old school wrestling.
Yeah.
Like that looks like a WCW pay-per-view from like 1995.
Exactly. Killing it. They're killing it, and in their own messed up way, NECA's killing it, because NECA knows, just like Power Rangers did before, re-release the old stuff. Huh?
Is that like a hashtag, NECA knows?
That should be.
Get it going.
We'll get it going.
Get the toy people behind you.
Yeah. They're like, we're just going to re-release old stuff, but make it new. And now those kids are adults, and they're spending money buying it. Simple formula.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, Matt's at Comic-Con right now, and like that was a discussion. Like, what am I going to find for collectibles here? So
yeah, it's
that's
the
all
NECA
I go to
Turtles
those
for me.
things for.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to double up your investment every time you buy one, man, you might as well keep going.
That's accurate. All right, we got Resident Evil queued up. Is it the Welcome to Raccoon City trailer? That's the one.
That is correct.
Question.
Yeah, run it. What's up?
It says here, Robbie Emile. Is that Stephen Emile's brother? Sister?
That is correct. Yes.
Brother?
Yeah, they did that movie. I didn't watch it. Code 8 on Netflix too. together.
Oh,
Stephen Amell
right.
and Robbie Amell did it together. I think Robbie Amell got famous, or not famous, but like his big break was the Tomorrow People or something like that on CW back in the day.
Wow. Oh, that's right. That was a remake of the Tomorrow People that I used to like as a kid.
Well, nobody liked their remake, so probably should have stuck with yours.
CW. All right. Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. Here's a trailer. I'm just going to switch over the audio. Here we go.
Every story has a beginning. Discover the origin of evil.
Why are you back here, Claire? Your conspiracies weren't true when we were kids. They're not true now.
We need to expose Umbrella. Watch this.
I'm afraid, Claire. I'm afraid of what they're gonna do to this town. You see, Umbrella, they had an incident. I'm talking Chernobyl, if you know what I mean. People are getting sick. You gotta help us, Claire. Let the world know what's really going on.
We have to contain this.
Shall we go? What were Umbrella doing here?
This is where they're experimenting on him.
What the? We gotta get out of here.
We're gonna take Umbrella down.
And that's where they get me. Exclusively in movie theater. They got you. You're going.
Yeah, I'll be there. I probably already bought a ticket.
I like that. I actually
Did
did like that trailer.
So there's so many things I want to say. I watched it way earlier, so this is like my first real sit down and watch it. They did what I call like the Jordan Peele, where they just find like a really catchy song and put it to their trailer, and now that song's going to be stuck in all of our heads for the rest of the night. But it makes the trailer way cooler, right? Way more appealing. That's probably why you like it.
It does do that. I have to admit, when they take old
When you pick the right song,
put it
makes
to
a big
some
difference.
violence, what's going on, it works.
But what do you? And it doesn't look terrible to me. I didn't come away from it that excited, to be completely honest with you. The first
But
time,
is that
and
because you
even this time,
consume so much Resident Evil media?
I know a lot. Yeah, I've done a lot of it. I've read. I mean, most people don't even know that there was books.
Yeah.
Like there's
No clue.
There's like a 7-book run of that are based on like the games, like a novelization of them, and they're pretty good. I read them like a very long time ago. They're by S.D. Perry, I think, was the author. It just looks like they merged a bunch of them together, and that's kind of my issue, because I wanted them to be telling the story of like Resident Evil 2, or just start with the actual Resident Evil 1, like the mansion stuff. I don't know, but like if you're gonna start with Raccoon City, just give me the second game, because it's basically a movie in the way it plays out anyway. And then the other issue in that is if you're gonna recast these like iconic roles that you really, really poorly cast in the last set of movies you made, then like Leon's got to look like Leon, and like that guy, I just can't get into him as Leon Kennedy.
So
Did you play the games, Steve, at all?
No, I was talking about that today too, actually.
Okay.
No, that's not true. I didn't play them on my own, like flick through or anything. But when 2 came out, my best friend was playing it, and I remember going to his house and I'd watch him play, or like I'd like jump in and try something, but it wasn't my thing. I couldn't get into it.
It scared the shit out of me as a little kid.
I do remember that. I do remember that.
To the point where, yeah, like I didn't play them all the way through when I was a little kid. Like I remember playing Resident Evil 2. I remember getting to certain points and just having to like stop because it was either A, too hard, or B, like I was too afraid to go around that next dark corner because I knew something was going to jump out. But Leon, for anybody who played like any of the games, that character's pretty like at this point well known. And if you watch the animated series on Netflix, that's the way he's supposed to look. Like that's the way the character actually looks. That's part of what makes those shows, or the show and the movies, so good, is it holds so true to what you get from the video game. And I think the girl who plays Claire is pretty good. I think the Robbie Amell casting's decent, but that Leon Kennedy casting just, it pulls me out every time.
We'll have to see. You are the connoisseur of Resident Evil, and I know that you'll be dropping a review on For Those of Good Taste.
That is facts.
So Lenny, as we roll out, first, everybody, head over For Those of Good Taste, drop a subscribe on the road to 100. Give us your final plug of the evening, and if there's anything for you to forecast, anything coming up.
Yeah, so we come out with one episode a week. Generally, it's on Wednesdays, drops right around lunchtime. Take your break, join it with us, or do it with us. You know what I'm saying. Steve, I feel like I'm going to let the work speak for itself. Just go click on a video somewhere. There's a couple with Mr. Archer there on them. I can see two. The top 5 is a fun one. HeyArcher on the pod, also a good one. We do our series once a month called 321 Spoiler, where we just go and watch movies that generally are just movies that I like that people haven't heard of, and I get my friends to watch it with me, and we have a great time. So check it out, please.
Yeah, and I like the format. It's just hanging out and talking about the things that we love.
Listen, I'm not an expert on anything at all. Trust me. I'm throwing a lot of this together as I go, but we have a lot of fun sitting down every week, and it's just it's doing what I would do in my regular time. So I'm having a blast, man. Yeah,
I'm a fan. Watch every week. Something I didn't know about, and you know what? As we end the show, 2 quick things. We'll keep it to like 30 seconds each. One, should we all go watch Venom 2?
Oh, you want to know the answer to that? If you like Tom Hardy's natural charisma in an incredibly mediocre movie, then this movie is for you.
That's the movie.
Yeah. That's one sentence described 90 minutes of my life.
That's fair. That's fair.
And also, if you want to hear weekly, like 2 people just have a debate on IMAX versus Dolby, like join in every Wednesday.
I didn't know those differences.
We could go for hours, dude. I won't bore you all with it. But if you want to get the updates, you know where to find us.
The second thing I didn't know about until your show educated me. The Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight is this weekend. As a casual, I will say now, I think I've crossed into casual territory, because I think being a casual these days has changed definition. But as a casual of combat sports, I didn't even know that fight was this weekend. Who's your pick, and should we watch?
You know what's the really scary thing, Steve, before I give you my pick, is like when you said the one thing I learned from your show, I racked my brain through like 10 different weird scenarios that I've created recently, and I was like, is he going to talk about urinal etiquette for a minute here? But no, so my pick for this weekend's fight, a fight that should be one of the biggest of the year, but nobody gives a shit about, is going to be Tyson Fury. I will say it's by decision, but like it could very well get stopped. Deontay Wilder already making a million excuses. That's never bodes well.
Never does.
Dude, know your craft. A lot of positive response here. You're a smart guy or woman. I don't know.
That's a guy. Okay. Subscribe to Know Your Craft. Subscribe to Paximus, Aaron Waller, all of you, K-Wall Comedy. Thank you all for being here today. It was a good time.
Thank you.
Lenny, where can they find you for those good taste?
Yeah, you can check us out at Good Taste Live on Twitter. I went semi-viral, Steve, the other day for the first time ever, and it was like a pretty cool moment. I got like 100 likes on a tweet, and it was a real uplift. You want to chase that high. I don't know if anybody else has ever been there before.
What was the tweet?
Oh, I was rashing on Dana White, dude.
Oh, sorry, what was it?
I was going in on Dana White a little bit. Because he said
sure.
he wasn't into giving rematches or title shots off of people who are retired, and I was like, remember when GSP challenged for the middleweight championship? Like, come on, dude.
You're talking Cejudo, I'm guessing.
But yeah, so I'm like tapping the veins. I'm trying to get there at Good Taste Live. Come check it out. Join the fun, please. And at For Those with Good Taste on Instagram, we're doing our 31 days of Halloween right now. Matt's doing a lot of really good work over there. So
love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Just thank you for having me. I want to make sure I get that in there. Thank you for having me, Steve. This is a fucking blast, dude. Thank you.
No, thank you for being here. I was saying before the show started that it's been like, I think 3 weeks in a row, guest every week, and I'm liking this. So stay tuned. I'm sure there'll be a week or two where I'm flying solo, but am I ever really flying solo with all of you in the chat? I don't think so. So
most poppin' chat out there.
There you go. HeyArcher Live every Thursday at 8 p.m. 2-minute reviews, unboxings, all that fun stuff is here at HeyArcher. But you always want to make sure that you head over to Nerd Affiliated. That's the vlog series. That's where we go toy hunting. What was it?
Did you see that big spike in positive, like in viewer? Dude, I saw that. Look at that. Compared stats to little.
Oh, that's freaking the Rocky trailer of all things.
Dude,
for some odd reason.
Up.
I don't understand it, but 193 views on that.
Sex sells, my friend, and Sly Stallone will always be sexy.
I can't top that.
I know. Sorry, man.
Subscribe to For Those with Good Taste. Subscribe to HeyArcher. Subscribe to Nerd Affiliated. And I'll talk to all you nerds, all you sexy Sly Stallone nerds in the next video.
Later,
Peace.
Guys.